All right, let's get right into it. We've all used AI chatbots, sure, but what if you could go way, way beyond that? I mean, what if you could build your very own, custom-tailored AI command center, a whole sophisticated system of agents all working together just for you? Well, believe it or not, that's exactly what we're digging into today, a system built on top of Anthropic's really powerful coding AI, Claude Code.
Just let that sink in for a second. Imagine that. Not just chatting with one AI, but having a whole team at your fingertips. A personal war room of specialized agents that you can call up whenever you want to delegate tasks, get advice, or manage pretty much anything. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But it's actually completely doable.
So the big question is, how does a system this complex even get off the ground? You're probably picturing some massive, super complicated setup. But the truth is, this entire ecosystem, well, it's built on top of one single, surprisingly simple component.
And here it is. It's the Agent SDK from Anthropic. And the concept behind it is honestly brilliantly simple. Think of this SDK as a kind of universal adapter. It's a free piece of software that creates a bridge, letting you control the remote session of Claude Code from basically any app you want. This little thing right here, this is the key that unlocks everything else.
In fact, the very first version of this system, let's call it V0, was incredibly simple. It really just involved 3 steps. First, you pick an interface you're comfortable with, something like Telegram. Then, you use that SDK to build the bridge over to Claude Code. And finally, you just tack on a really basic memory file. And that's it. From that super humble beginning, a real powerhouse was born.
But, that simple start did not stay simple for very long. Let's take a look at how this thing evolved. Because over hundreds of hours of development, it grew from just a basic bot into this truly sophisticated, multi-layered ecosystem. And wow, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? Look at that jump. We went from a single interface on a phone to having multiple ways to interact, including a full-blown web dashboard. We went from one lonely agent to a whole council of specialized agents. And the memory? Oh, it went from just one simple file to this multi-layered system with different kinds of memory for different jobs. Literally every single part of the system got a massive upgrade.
Okay, so what does this advanced system actually look like under the hood? It all really comes down to 3 key architectural pillars, which we are going to break down right now.
So, the first pillar is really the heart of the whole operation, the Agent Council. This is where that idea of an AI team really truly comes to life.
Now, this council isn't just one AI pretending to be a bunch of different people. No, it's a team of distinct agents, and each one has its own specialty. You've got one for communications, one for operations, one for research, and so on. Then there's a main agent that acts kind of like a project manager. It takes your requests and then delegates the task to the right specialist. It's basically like having multiple dedicated AI coding experts all working in parallel, which means the perfect expert is always handling your request.
Now, having a team of experts is fantastic, but they have to be able to work together, right? And that is where our second pillar comes in, the hive mind.
The hive mind is the system's shared brain. It's this unified memory that keeps track of every single thing that every agent does. This is so important because it stops the agents from just working in their own little bubbles. The research agent knows what the ops agent just did, and the comms agent can see all the results. It creates this real global awareness across the entire council, which allows for some incredible collaboration.
And finally, you need a way to actually command your council and see what the hive mind is up to. And this brings us to our third and final pillar, the mission control.
Mission control is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a web-based dashboard that gives you this single, beautiful view to manage absolutely everything. From here, you can create new tasks and, get this is brilliant, you can let an LLM automatically assign it to the best agent for that specific job. You can add new agents, you can manage your AI models, and you can dive deep into all the different layers of the system's memory. It is your command center.
So at this point, you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds incredible, but it also sounds like a ton of work. So why would you go through all this trouble? Why not just use one of the many new pre-built agent frameworks that are popping up all over the place?
And that's the most logical question, right? With so many tools out there, why would you build when you can just download? Well, the answer really boils down to a philosophy of control and, I think, long-term investment.
When you look at it, the strategic advantages are just so compelling. When you build it yourself, you get total control to integrate your specific tools, your unique workflows. It's also really cost-effective because it's all running on your existing Claude Code subscription. But here's the real game changer. It's future-proof. When the next hot new framework comes out, you don't have to switch everything over. You can just borrow its best ideas and fold them right into your system. You're investing in a foundation that you actually own, not some framework that could be gone tomorrow.
So the crucial point here is this. What you're doing is building a stable foundation on your own terms, on your own computer. All the frameworks, all the new features, all the bells and whistles, those all become luxuries that you can choose to add or modify or even remove whenever you want. The core of the system is yours and only yours.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Just for a moment, forget about all the frameworks and the SDKs and just imagine if you had your own personal council of AI agents, totally customized to your life, your work, your goals. What would you have them do?